Hey guys, Sean here with Mr. Maple, and today I'm here with Kylie, and today we're going to count down our top 5 variegated trees. What do we have coming in at number 5, Kylie?
Number 5, we have Icandy, which is such a cool tree. For me personally, it reminds me of the little like watermelon Sour Patch candies, of course for the name and because of the coloring of the leaves. The variegation is this beautiful pink and white and green. It's super awesome.
It is one. It's a stunner. It just shows in the landscape. It shows in the garden. This is a Talon Buchholz introduction. We spell this Ikandi, but pronounce it as Icandy. So if you go on our site and you're looking for it, yeah. Ikandi, Icandy. But this is one. Don't be surprised that the variegation as this tree matures comes out more. So don't be surprised that with these leaves, that those early first year leaves will come out. Don't be surprised if they come out and when they go into the summer, you don't see that variegation, you just see that green. Because next year, you're gonna see those colors come out and just pop.
Yeah, it's gonna surprise you.
And what do we have coming in at number 4?
Number 4, we have Lilian, which is a personal favorite. I really love this tree. The variegation on this one is kind of unpredictable and will also surprise you in a really unique way. You know, sometimes the leaves will be fully pink, sometimes they'll be fully white, and then you'll get this kind of like speckled look all over the leaves, which is really unique.
So again, we talked about Talon Buchholz on the last tree. This is another Talon Buchholz introduction. And what's cool about this one, like you say, all those different colors, but sometimes the stories behind the trees are really special. And this one, I had the honor to be able to narrate Talon's writings for his introductions for the Flora Wonder blog. And this one, he talks about that he would try to get his employees to really kind of get into the trees, get into the cultivars. And he had an employee that he really took to, a young guy named Lilian.
Oh, cool.
And he would tell them out, go through the seed patches and see what we have. And if something stands out, bring it to me. Yeah. And he brought this to Talon, and Talon saw it and said, it just pops. And you know Talon, when he sees a tree that has variegation, you're talking about the guy that introduced the Ghost series, introduced a lot of the new ghost stuff like Celebration. So when he sees something with variegation, like you say, those pinks, those whites, just a killer tree.
Totally, yeah, it's so special. Check it out.
And what we have coming in at number 3?
Number 3, we have a classic, I think, Lilians Jewel. This is a tree that I think anybody who loves variegation should have in their garden. It's kind of one of those trees, when it leaves out in the spring, it's like you never get sick of it. It's always such a nice treat to see it in the greenhouses. It's like, wow. There's Lilians Jewel again, looking beautiful.
So what's really cool about this one is that, you know, sometimes with variegation, especially if you have variegations that have white in them, that you need to give them protection from that afternoon sun. Mm-hmm. This Lilians Jewel with those reds and those pinks and all that stuff, surprisingly, or I wouldn't say surprisingly, but this is one of those that we know that in southern South Carolina, where it gets hot, that these grow well. So this is one of those that has that has that variegation that you know will do well in those high heat. Now don't be confused. There is extravaganza, same tree, but we like to stick with Lilians Jewel here at Mr. Maple because that was the original name given to the tree. Kind of got out there in the trade, and some people tried to remarket this tree as extravaganza. But we like to stick to the original name, Lilians Jewel. This is one of those you need to have for your collection.
You do, yep.
And moving right along, what do we have at number 2?
Number 2, we have Snow Kitten, which is totally a crowd favorite, highly sought after. This one is super unique. It honestly reminds me of like a creature that you'd find in Dr. Seuss.
Oh, it really is. It really is. Well, you know, it's a sport that came off of Makawa Yatsubusa. Right. Yeah. And a lot of these Makawa types kind of have that Dr. Seuss, that playful kind of habit to it. But this one, you get those whites and that kind of the swirled variegation on that Makawa with that tight layer shingling like you do with the Makawa. Yeah. But you get those. Now these we do sell in low graph and high graph, depending on the time of year and the sets we have. But I know from what Talon says with this is that he likes to have them a little bit raised up to get that airflow. Really helps out. But this is just an excellent plant. Now, this isn't the tree just to throw out in your landscape. This is one that will take a little work with. You want to make sure that you have well-drained soil with this one. And you do want to provide shade for this one, especially afternoon shade, so you don't burn it and you get good airflow. And this is also one that you'll see that a lot of times, sometimes they're cut back more. And that's because the more you prune out and cut back, the more variegation that it's going to push. It's a killer tree. And what's our number one?
Okay, number one of my absolute personal favorites, and will always remain a top 5 for me, is Mano no Sato. I am obsessed with this tree. The variegation is like a dark purple and a light green. It is so unique. I don't think that there's another tree that we have here that is quite like it. I think it's kind of in its own category. It's you have to have one.
Well, you know, I laugh because I asked her, I said, Kylie, how do you want to count these down?
Yeah.
Where do you want these to come in? What are these? How are they ranked?
Yeah.
And you said, oh, Mano Sato has to be number one.
Yep.
This is one that comes from Japan. Tsukasa maple came to the United States, I think, around the early 90s, 92, 93.
Wow.
But this is one that's been around. And again, like you say, those colors. And it means, from what I understand, the translation of Mano no Sato means leaves, or land of 1,000 leaves. And this is one that you're looking at about 12 to 6 foot wide.
Wow.
So about 12 foot high, 6 foot wide in about 15 years. Yeah. And when it fills in and you get all that variegation, I can see where they got that name, Land of 1,000 Leaves, because the way it just fills in and you have variegation and you got those long leaves with that variegation all over, just covered. Magnificent plant.
So great. Yeah, you guys absolutely need a Mano no Sato.
So guys, this is our top 5 variegated Japanese maples here at Mr. Maple. Killer trees, ones to have in your landscape. We appreciate you tuning in. Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.